just got done watching a brand new movie starring Gerard Butler, Mike Colter, and a plane, and it's called Plane. Now, this movie is about a pilot who finds himself caught in a war zone after he's forced to land his commercial aircraft during a terrible storm. That's about all you need to know. Now, going into this movie, I'm not gonna lie, it's coming out in January. January is typically where they drop a lot of the crappy type of movies and the junk overall, or just generic blockbusters that try to be bigger than they should be. And I saw the trailer for this. Well, I didn't even really see the trailer. I saw part of the trailer, and it looked generic. And then I had a friend ask me, hey, do you know what that movie that Gerard Butler's like a captain and he's like flying a plane? Like, do you know what it's called? I told him I have zero idea what you're talking about. And come to know, once I found out, it's called Plane, which is like one of the most generic and stupid titles that you could ever pick for a movie. But it works. Because Gerard Butler plus Mike Colter plus a plane is awesome. This is like a straight great little throwback to 90s thrillers, and it's more of like an action survival thriller type movie that I actually really enjoyed, and it kind of threw me back again to the early 90s action films, but filmed in a modern style, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, to say that with the least, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here and you like talking movies, as well as make sure to leave your thoughts down below. Are you excited for this movie? Are you not? What's your favorite Gerard Butler movie in the last couple of years? We're not going all the way back to his greats, but I want to hear what your favorites are so far from the last few years. And with that said, let's get into this movie review. Now, like I mentioned, I thought this movie was fun. Is it perfect? By means, no. Is it going to change your life? No. But it's fun. And I think this is the one thing. The movie kicks off and it moves pretty fast. Like, you get to the plane crash pretty damn fast. And all of that is overall pretty engaging. No bad CGI, nothing that kind of takes you out of the experience. And I actually, for a second, it kind of looks like they used miniatures to kind of display the plane in certain sequences. I could be wrong, it could be CGI, but leading in from there, to see how this was going to work, I sat there and I'm like, I know there's action in this movie. I need to see the action. Because this is an action survival film. It's got aspects of Call of Duty to it. It's got name any sort of generic survival film you've seen before, and name any plane crash movie you've seen before. It has all of those aspects wrapped in it in one big bow tie. But I told myself, if the action is terrible in this, the second the action starts kicking off, I'm done. I'm checked out. You've lost my interest. Because nowadays, I'm so tired of when something looks like this. When it looks like they're shaking the camera and you can't tell what is going on. I'm so over it. I'm tired of seeing action films like that. And the second it happens, if it's not filmed in the way that Paul Greengrass films it or edits it, I don't want it. I would rather get something like John Wick, The Raid, or just something like this movie, which doesn't go over the top in all of its nature and do this whipping camera motion, but it at least shows you what is going on, and you can tell from point A to point B when a gunshot is going off and what they're shooting and who they're killing. When they're hand-to-hand combating and having to take someone out, you see it all, and thank God. Is it the best thing in the world? No. But for a movie like this, where we actually want to be engaged with the action and thrilled from top to bottom, it is there. And bravo to Jean-François Richet. I could be mispronouncing that name, but he is the director of this movie, and thank you so much for using that vision of it all. Because I was heavily worried by that, and thank God this movie surprised me with its action. As well as just how thrilling it is. This movie does, for the most part, you know where it's going to go. You've seen it all before, and some of my guesses, didn't go in the other way. I'm like, it's either going to go this way or this way. It went that way. That's fine. This is just a fun little thriller. And again, action surprised me. Thrilling moments surprised me. Everything on the plane surprised me. And speaking of the performances, Gerard Butler is awesome. Like, I think when we look at Gerard Butler, he does a lot of the same type of roles and does the same type of action films and roles. And someone else that does that is Liam Neeson. But the two comparisons is that Liam Neeson makes garbage action films that, like, literally are not even action anymore. And Gerard Butler, at least from what I can remember of the last few kind of films like this in this genre of action, that's kind of nice throwback, Den of Thieves, that Greenland, I don't even remember what it was called, but that end of the world disaster film, they're fun. And I think Gerard Butler is actually signing on to good projects. So now I'm actually not going to judge a book by its cover. I'm going to give him the opportune moment to impress me. And I think that is what Gerard Butler's actually done pretty well in his career over the last few years. Mike Colter, I love this guy as an actor. I think he's such an underrated guy. And I think he's great in this role. Does he have a lot to work with? No. Is he a badass? Absolutely. Last but not least, Yoson and Daniella Pineda. We didn't get enough of them, but again, good performances. And I think everyone overall is good in this movie. There's a lot of familiar faces that you've seen before, but it definitely just more focuses on Gerard Butler and Mike Colter. And again, that's all you really need to know. This isn't a movie that's going to get deep, and honestly, like, when we come down to the cons, I think there is a couple issues when it comes down to maybe not even pacing, because the film does move at a pretty considerate pace. It's more of just like some of the buildup, and it's stuff that you would expect in, again, a throwback to early 90s action films, or even late 90s action films, that you would expect, okay, you're gonna have this generic storyline to make us care about Gerard Butler and why he needs to survive, and maybe even this character, you're gonna throw in that he has a wife, he has kids, he needs to get back to them. You're gonna throw into that. You're going to get those one-dimensional characters, which, again, if you're going into this movie expecting more than that, then you're going to walk out disappointed. Like, you're going to walk out frustrated. But genuinely, like, if you walk into this movie and just want to enjoy something for, like, an hour and 45 minutes, you're going to enjoy that. And that's what I got from Plane. Because Gerard Butler plus Mike Colter plus a plane is a lot of fun. It's awesome. And for me, that was enough to make me worthwhile. I had fun, I smiled, and overall, I was thrilled. And I think this is a nice little, like, go to the theaters and enjoy it. Is it a must-see in theaters? No. But if you're going for, like, a matinee price and you're just wanting to get out and go eat some popcorn and you've seen everything else in the theaters, specifically, like, Avatar and stuff, which, again, there's not a lot out in theaters right now because it's really just Avatar racking in all the money and you just want something different, Plane is something that I think you'll find pretty solid. So with all that said, this movie surprised me, and I'm going to give this film a B. Once again, guys, for watching this, look out for a lot more movie reviews soon. We also have a Last of Us series starting this week. We're probably going to be doing 2 videos every Sunday about The Last of Us. I'm a major fan of the games, big fan of the show coming up. Very excited to see it. So without further ado, guys, thanks so much again for watching this. And of course, until next time, stay classy.